Vanakkam. It's an absolute pleasure to be here in Chennai, as Mr. Mayur and Mr. Ravi pointed out. Truly, time flies. It's been a really long time since I have visited Chennai, and coming here is always such a pleasure. There's so much love and so much warmth, and I feel totally at home. And I can't thank her enough for giving me such a warm welcome with so much love. Firstly, it was brought to my attention by Mr. Ravi that today is Parents' Day. Every day is Parents' Day. And, well, God bless parents all across the world, and we are blessed to have such a beautiful experience in our lives, and like I said, we celebrate that emotion every waking day of our lives. And today we're here, of course, to be celebrating some very important milestones, but mostly I'd like to bring the attention to the fact that we're celebrating a lakh stem cell storage units that have already taken place with Lifecell, and I think that's an incredible milestone and something I wanted to underline right at the very onset of what I have to say to you today. So first, a round of applause for Lifecell. Congratulations to your father, your family, and Mr. Ravi as well, and the entire team. I think we're doing dare I say we, because today I feel very much on board and part of the family, but we're doing a very important service in life, and I think it's wonderful to achieve such milestones, to underline them in the public conscious, because it just draws attention to such simple and obvious facts, gifts that we can share with our generations to come in the name of stem cell banking, and particularly cord cell banking. The decision to bank umbilical cord cells had to be taken at a time when taking baby steps into parenthood. And on our part, we did extensive research, spoke to our friends, our families, of course. We were informed already, but at that crucial time in your life, you end up wanting to do only that much more research, being a walking, talking encyclopedia. We can help it on the subject. Speak to your doctors. And knowledge can be very, very reassuring and empowering. And once we were made aware of the potential of cord cell banking, the decision was natural. And we recognized how it's the simplest and yet such a precious gift that can be given to our children at such an important time of our lives. So to be able to do so in a timely fashion, I think it's very, very important to be informed on the subject, and that's probably why we all are here, and with the help of our media friends who I hope are listening, we're able to spread the word to a wider, more receptive audience and society. Lifecell, of course, got in touch with us and informed us extensively. And like I was just referring to the fact that information itself can be so empowering. I think after that, for expectant parents, decision making comes very easily. And the kind of extensive information that Lifecell shares with expectant parents, the decision to bank our cord cells was very, very easy and natural for us. Having preserved stem cells with Lifecell, I felt that every expectant parent across our country should become aware of this concept. And stem cells from umbilical cord cells are is a nature-given resource that needs to be preserved, and the opportunity to do it in a safe and simple method is given to us during such a beautiful experience of childbirth. And I've experienced this personally myself. So when approached to become the brand ambassador, very honestly, it was just such a natural synergy for me to happily come on board and help in increasing the awareness of knowledge that I had received at the right time in my life. And so we have gotten together as a team and created media communication that we so naturally know as advertising, with photographs and visual representation. We have done an ad film so that the communication can spread far and wide in the way that an audience is used to receiving information. But at the same time, for us, the content of what we were talking about was extremely important. We respected what we were here to talk about, and we've retained that in our communications. So we haven't taken away from the core of what the subject is, and that is umbilical stem cell banking. And so we have shared that in natural circumstances of pre-childbirth, like ceremonies of Gulbharai, baby showers, as may be defined under different titles. But at the end of the day, that's, I think, very true to our natural, social, customary ways in families, and hence we brought that essence into our communication as well. And we also wanted to share how it can be such a natural gift also during such ceremonies that people can gift to each other in terms of the financial investment that goes into cord cell banking. I think we are always looking for gifts to give to the expectant parents, and this can be one as well as an idea, so I'm just sharing that. But this is something you can think about socially. Because what's wonderful is that Lifecell has taken into consideration affordable pricing, and bearing that in mind, this can very easily be a gift idea during pre-childbirth for families and friends to consider. Having said that, I would again like to reiterate and say that I'm happy to be here today in Chennai, joining Lifecell in their milestone. Today I'll say our milestone of marking 1 lakh storage units, and also another significant beginning today for Lifecell, and that is to note that Lifecell has taken a step towards creating a larger social impact by setting up a public umbilical cord stem cell bank. Now this is a major step towards addressing the dearth of stem cell assets in the country. In the years to come, my best wishes to Lifecell to become the largest public bank in the country, and I hope we make stem cell transplants accessible to all in need. God bless. Mr. Mayur Abhay, your father, your family, the team that works very conscientiously, Ravi, all of you on this journey. I'm happy to be on board with you all to help keep the communication strong, and I definitely wish a fruitful journey up ahead. So God bless, and my best wishes always. Thank you.
I think I have already answered the question. एक बार मुझे बोला है शुरुआत में ये तो कह रही थी कि खासियत तो काफ़ी चीज़ें हैं, but just to I'll make it shorter now. So I'm not being repetitive. Very simple. I think when we make our choices, I think as individuals, whatever, it's all we always will extensively read up, study. Speak to people with experience with the particular party that you would associate with. Firstly, as a parent-to-be, it was natural for me to speak to families that were very backed with Lifecell, to speak to doctors, to speak to professionals. A lot of my friends are from the medical circle as well, so being my friends at the same time, I'm also able to get medical advice. And it was very simple. They had come and met us also and given an extensive, detailed, very informative presentation. But it was natural once you feel reassured about the accreditations, the infrastructure, the hygiene, the consciousness about how to actually go about it all. Even respecting factors like privacy at the given point in time. It's very, very dear because, not because we're public people, but I think it's just such a personal experience. And to respect the sentiments at the time. I mean, I need to know when we were there and when we have gone ahead and done it. Because at that point in time of childbirth, it's such a family experience, but at the same time, such an important gift already gets in place for your child's future. And it's a very selfless and yet such a precious gift that you can give to your child. I think it was just an absolute no-brainer to go ahead with cord cell banking. Medical research is going to always be a way of life. It's going to continue till our very last breath and generation to generation. What potential stem cell banking or cord banking will reveal through our lifetime, I'd like to believe is immense, because literally from just 3 years ago to now, there's so much change and there's so much progress. Our scientists do a lot of homework. So when they're there doing their work, I think it's important to keep faith in its place. And we already know how helpful it already is. So your decision can be made based on that only, let alone what potential we will get to know in our lifetime. So it was very natural, very easy for us to make that choice. And the fact that I've actually been willing to come on board as an ambassador and speak on a public platform with a company in itself, I think, will show my faith and validation for this association with Lifecell. Firstly, as you've already observed, I think it's about the fact that we are talking about the subject. You are very important limbs in our life to actually help reach a wider, just speaking in the subject of communication and film, I'm going to use the word audience. But very honestly, you are our limbs to reach out to society at large. And that's the whole idea of us actually sitting here at events such as this, and yet talking about a subject that needs a lot more extensive discussion at the given time with the parents or families making the choice. And yet we choose these opportunities to extend to you all to help us to reach a wider audience. At the same time, as I said earlier, the whole idea of coming on board as a brand ambassador, I mean, I'm already banking with Lifecell. So that could have just been a by-the-by statement anyways and shared with you all, and the deal is done. But the whole idea of coming on board as what, now speaking to the media recognizes as a brand association. It means we're going to use the medium in terms of advertising and ad speak to do the same thing, and I think that in itself is pretty effective, because then the subject remains the core subject, and that is talking about what we essentially need to talk about. So we have advertising, we have ad films, we are we are showing visual translation of the family experience at the time. At the same time, making sure that it doesn't limit itself to that, but we actually speak about stem cell and cord cell banking itself. So that was very important for us, and I did discuss that with the team, but I did want that retail the team already actually have in place. So I sort of very happy that we are seeing the subject as well. We're not just having a public personalities basing an association on a platform, but we're actually talking about it. And that is something we have held true and held honest in the ad speak of the communication.